Okay, no, seriously, now this is my last time, otherwise I'm gonna flip my camera around. What I'm trying to do is try and have the camera just facing me as if somebody else is filming me. That way when I show you the stamp set that we'll be using and everything, that way it is not backwards to you guys. It'll make it easier for you guys to see sentiments and just what I'm doing and such. And so with that, hopefully I can, with my coloring and things that I'm doing today, you'll be able to better see what I'm doing and such. I just want to make sure that the iPad is going too, so that I can see if I'm sideways or if people are joining in or what's going on here. I think this is the #1 reason too why people are maybe more hesitant to do how do I want to say, face-to-face live videos. So don't ever knock a demonstrator for doing just a hands-only demonstration, because sometimes it is the fear of how do I want to say, the fear of, yeah, that camera and seeing it and such. And other times it is just the whole, most of the time it's the technology too of trying to make things right and such. So it looks like I'm centered in, it looks like I'm going the right way with the camera angle and such. And I'll have to also remember that my laundry's in the back, and I might have to clean my house after this for tomorrow's demonstration too. So, and that's okay. So thank you, Shelly, for joining in, and Julie, and I'm trying to see if I can see who else is joining in. It looks like a couple more people too, so that's great. So hopefully you aren't disappointed. I'm really excited about the card that I'm making today. It's using Lilypad Lake, and so the fun thing about this is that hopefully now today you can see all the sentiments and the images straight on. And so if it looks like I'm not putting things right in the camera, I might just go back to the old way too, because I want it to be a comfortable thing for you guys. But I love the stamp set, I love the sentiments in it, and I love the dies. And this is retiring, and so I pulled out my retiring sheet here, and the Lilypad Lake stamp set is on sale for 20% off. So it's $17.60 now instead of $22. So if you think, oh, how come I haven't had that stamp set or got that stamp set yet? Maybe it was worth the wait to get the 20% savings now too. So this is the card that I'm going to be making today. So I had some help with from my boys with putting some color combinations and such together with that too. So hopefully I can show you what the variations that I gave them, if I remember. Sometimes I get wrapped up in my demonstration and I forget to show you what it could have looked like too. So I think I'll get started. Oh, I have one note though, before I forget. I was really excited. So I had somebody from Stampin' Up's home office that I've been working on a little project, but we've been chatting back and forth, and she gave me this great tip, quick and easy way to upload all my Facebook Live videos to YouTube. And so with that, I know if you've been watching these, you're like, well, I saw it already, big deal. But sometimes if you want to go back and make a card again or get that tip that I gave you again, it's easier to find it on YouTube, because then everything's there. You don't have to scroll to find it. Although if you go to my Facebook page, Belle Harder - Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and click on, oh, there's a fly. Click on videos, it has just the videos too, so that helps. But just search for Belle Harder under or in YouTube, excuse me, and I've already uploaded all 10 of my virtual April Stamp Camp projects on there too. So yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know that. And then my goal is to upload, I did 9 other videos the month of April, so catch up on that maybe today. It's a rainy day. I'm coming to you a little bit later. my boys are in finals week for college, and so I get to see firsthand what that looks like for them, having them at home. So I think we're going to celebrate and do something a little different with Chinese takeout tonight. Wyndham has a great Chinese restaurant that we enjoy going to or getting food from, so I think that's going to be our evening plan for tonight. So that'll be kind of fun too. So hi Bonnie, thanks for joining in. So what I'm going to do next is show you how to make the card, and I think I'm going to try and just get my camera adjusted a little bit more, so hopefully it'll look like you're kind of looking over my shoulder at how I do this, and hopefully I don't knock over my tripod or anything in the process. We'll see. Okay, just want to go down here like so. There we go. I think this will work pretty okay. So in the meantime, I want to show you where this stamp set is coming from. Hi Donna, thanks for joining in. So it's coming to you from page 150 of the annual catalog, and as I pulled this out to get the page number, not just the stamp set that I was working with too, I wanted to let you know a heads up. I think tomorrow I'm going to do something fun with the Best Catch stamp set, which is also on sale. And I looked at these two things kind of back to back on the retiring list. I saw that Best Catch, instead of being $20, is down to $12 too. Okay, so I can see on my iPad, I love this angle. I think you guys are gonna enjoy this and get more out of my presentation maybe. But this afternoon, if you guys have a chance to maybe type in comments if you've watched some of my other videos and then you're watching today. Let me know if you say it's no big deal, Belle, we like the other, or if you go, no, this is awesome, keep working at this angle so that it's helpful for us. I'd appreciate knowing. Or you know, I'm going to be doing some things with color combinations and such, so maybe I might need your feedback so we can say, hey, the boys win versus the girls win. I don't know as far as what I came up with versus what they were thinking for my card today. Hi Tori, thanks for joining in. So there was a lot kind of to this card that I'm making today, and so oh, thanks, Shannon. I have enjoyed doing it. These videos, you know, it does make a person want to get up and shower for the day, put clean clothes on for the day, get my hair out of a ponytail for the day. And even though I can't hear your voice on these videos, I feel like you guys are right here and I can see your smiling faces that way too. So that's great. Thanks, Shannon. Oh, and I love your feedback too. So that's good. And the number one reason, actually the number one reason why I'm doing this is that my son, he's 19, he's like, Mom, you know that the quality, like to see these colors and everything and the depth of the card is going to be so much better. It's just a greater visual effect to have the camera at this angle, because otherwise doing the back facing, it's like taking selfies, and the camera quality just isn't as good that way. Thank you, Amy. So that's why I wanted to bring this to you, because if I'm going to do it, I want you to see that maybe the card looks better than what it was looking like because of the camera angle. So when I started this card, I kind of took some bits and pieces from one of my team members, Gretchen. I liked a card that she had done back a while with it, and I tried to do different things, the same and different. And so I had to think, like, where do you start on a card like this that is kind of busy? So what I'm going to do is pull out, actually, okay, so let me start with measurements. That is always helpful to you guys. So the card base, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, of course. And then I just fold and score that so that it lays flat. And then for my layers, I did blueberry bushel, just 1/4 inch less, so 4 by 5 1/4, and then another layer just 1/4 inch less than that. So this is going to be 3.75, by 5 inches there. So Thanks, Amy. Thanks for joining in. So I'm going to start with my stamping on the 3.75 by 5 inch white cardstock, just Whisper White, and Blueberry Bushel ink. So both of these things, Blueberry Bushel ink and Blueberry cardstock, are retiring. I know I was super excited when this ink came out because we all needed some kind of royal blue color. So I do know that the reinker has sold out already, but it is still available in the cardstock and the ink pad. Also, I'm going to be using some Blueberry Bushel 1/8 ribbon. That will be selling out, so I thought I'm not ready to add it to the card, but I wanted to let you know that. So what I'm going to do is just take the stamp that has all these lines, and I'm just going to start at the bottom, and I actually kind of stamp off just a hair off the bottom, so that way, maybe I did, I wanted to, just so that way I know that I've started on my piece of cardstock right at the bottom. So this is not photopolymer, it is the red rubber, but it's really, really easy to line up all those lines. And if you do happen to overlap, because these lines are so skinny and squiggly, it'll be okay. So I just did a few, just re-inking every time a few of those lines, and it does kind of make your eyes go a little wonky, 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 but that's okay. I'm just gonna set that ink aside there. And next what I'm going to do is take some pieces of white cardstock here. Hi Stacy, thanks for joining in. Oh, thanks Stacy. Yeah, so breaking the shell today is probably the most nervous I've been because I'm totally going out of my comfort zone. Kind of felt like I was starting out blindly with how I was videoing, but I think it's just, it does look so much more clear. So I'm just taking and stamping out the bird here. I shouldn't call it a bird, I should call it what it is, which would be probably a heron. And then a little lily pad decoration here, like so. And that I'm just doing with the memento. And actually I'm gonna go right to the greeting as well. So that way I'll have everything stamped out, and that's gonna be in black too. The sentiment that I'm using is thinking of you with loving thoughts and prayers. And I do love all the other sentiments that are in the stamp set. And I also really like the font because of the size of it and how clear it is to read it. Sometimes things look a little too plain maybe, or maybe too fancy, and then it's hard to kind of get the gist of it that way too. So next I'm going to bring in my Big Shot, and so the Lakeside Framelits dies are a great combination of dies. Oops. And this happens all the time to me, probably does to you too. So these are the dies that I'm not using. Lately I've been kind of going back and forth with using combinations of dies. Today for this card, every single die that I'm using is from this set. So these are for the sailboats in the image here. This can be a fun sun or moon for sentiments here that can frame a couple of them. And what I am using today then, I love the magnetic platform, so I can just put them all right on here, is the waves and the heron and the lily pad, and then for my sentiment, kind of a frame that way. So what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to put, actually I'll put it this way, these waves. And so if I carefully put it on here, I'm going to leave a strip at the bottom only so that I can put my snail adhesive there. And then as far as lining up with any of the squiggles, I don't worry about that at all. I just want something to cut out and add a little bit of texture that way, which is kind of fun. Okay, so then sometimes here it's hard to see what I've cut through, but if I just kind of pull it from the back, oh, maybe it didn't cut so well. I did on my other one. You know what? I don't like that at all. I'm going to go cut a new sheet. Hold tight. Okay, this seriously might be my longest video yet, probably because I started with butterflies and everything. So, okay, 3.75 by 5. Okay, so, yeah, you guys can laugh. Please laugh. Like, can you believe that this happened? But when I did my sample, it came out great. But I also remembered that I ran it back and forth in my big shot, and it is kind of a little bit of a detailed die, so that would have helped. Thank you, Tori, for making me feel normal. Hi, Mary. Hi, Lisa. Okay, so I'm just going to re-stamp what I did before I made my first error, and I think I'm going to leave it just like that. Okay, we'll see now. Yeah, and you guys need to see when I do this that not everything turns out right away, and I think that's important to know that too. Okay, so what I'm going to do, sometimes even running dies through at an angle, if I can help you with any of your tips or tricks of why things don't turn out, maybe that'll be why. And I think before I release it, I'm gonna see if it looks like it's got a good cut. It really does, I hope so. I don't know. Maybe I ran it through this way. I'm really excited about the new die cutting though, so that I can plug too, that I'm excited. It's not going to be ready with the new catalog. Oh, look at this. Okay, it just needed to be happy going through maybe that other direction. So now it comes out kind of like spaghetti noodles, and you can kind of see that. I want to show it from the back side. Thank you, Julie. I mean, I don't want it to happen to somebody else, but yes. Okay, so this does kind of make your eyes go wonky. That's why I wanted to show you it from that side to go, yep, it did cut out all of those wavy lines, and just no set pattern, just kind of waves like so. And then what I'm going to do with that is, here's my snail. Yes, so true, Stacey. It's like, yeah, I think I've cut out for 2 to 3 cards, and I probably should have, for your guys' sake, so you don't hear me running through my house, I probably should have just cut an extra layer, but it went so well on my sample. Like, we're talking one shot, and if you guys would have seen how I made my first card, it would have been like, oh, that was great. So next what I'm going to do is take the ribbon, and that's the 1/8 blueberry bushel here, and I'm just going to put that around. Sometimes even though ribbon can be like a last minute accessory, if I know it's going to go on ahead of time, I put it on almost right away, so that way I don't accidentally tape it on to my card, like all of this onto my card, and then how many times do we go, oh no, I forgot the ribbon? So we all do that, so that's why I like to put my ribbon on right away, especially because I've made this card, I know where it goes, I know that it's going on there. And because the sentiment's going to lay here, I'm trying to put that knot as close off to the side as I can. Hi Ruth, thanks for joining in. So even though we have a lot of wonky lines, and then that die cut, the die cut just adds to make it look like a little bit of a deeper water, and just adds a little bit more texture there with that too. So that's why I liked that as well. So then with my big shot, I'm going to run through the heron. And because I'm asking for lots of input for you guys, from you guys today, is this a heron? I'm assuming it is. I don't know if there's another technical name for it. It doesn't look like how a stork would stand if it wasn't in the water. So I'm running through that and my lily pad at the same time, which is always great when you can get them to cooperate and not jump or move around. So that I'm just going to put through, and then the last thing I'm going to put through is my sentiment. And I love when framelits have nice little banner like rectangles and things like that that you can put your sentiments right in and have a fun little frame for that. So the color that this is Mint Macaron. And, oops, I'm gonna pull the big shot back here. And where is my die for the, oh my goodness, you guys, I'm not having a good day at all. My dies for my Lilypad, or I'm looking for my die for this. So, trying to see if it's anywhere. Otherwise, I might need to make another jog back to my room to see, because actually, I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, we're just gonna pretend like I have it. And so, yeah, no kidding, Shelly. I need extra deodorant today. Okay, so I'm going to just go back to my coloring. I think that's supposed to soothe everyone when you color. Okay, so I'm using the light smoky slate, which is always a good shading color. And I'm just going to go along the neck. You'd think I'd be shaking by now, as like stressed out as I should be, but it's just you guys. So we'd all be laughing together if you were here in person, so this is good. So I'm just going to go right under all those black lines in that area, and then there's kind of that little accent right there. So that's all I'm going to do to color him. And I know when I do it, he looks darker than what I wanted to, but like I always say, you just set him aside for a few minutes and he will just lighten up and it'll look great. Yeah, Shelly, I do totally feel like I'm amongst friends. So we're all friends here. And that helps me. And I would giggle right along with you guys too, if that's what was happening to you guys. But giggling with you, not at you. And I think we can all go, been there, done that. Okay, so this is the dark mint macaron, and I'm just adding a little color kind of towards the top of each of the lily pads with the dark, and then with the light, I'm going to go back over that and just color in. And when I get to the edges, I want to pick up some of that darker color and just kind of blend it with the light, like so. Like that, okay? And that's mint macaron. And then, oh yeah, Stacy, I should check underneath my chair. Otherwise, it's probably right on my workspace, because I bring my things right from my workspace to here. So it really is sitting on my, probably on my desktop back there. And so I'll probably go back there and it'll be sitting right there, but I didn't want to take away your guys' time by running to my room to look for a die. Okay. This little die. If you see a silver piece, that looks like that. Dwayne's gonna go check. I don't know. It could be on either one of my desks, if not. So what I'm doing with the dark Lovely lipstick, which by the way, Lovely lipstick is an in color, and this is also retiring. So if you look, I'm gonna try and hold this up even to the camera. There we go. It looks like it's got little dots, chicken pox. Hey Barb, thanks for joining in. And then I'm going to go to the light Lovely lipstick, and I'm just going to take and pull that color in and away or out and about like so with the light. And it just adds a fun pop of color to, especially, you know, I don't know if you notice this, certain colors blend, I feel like, more dramatically than other ones. So that's kind of neat too. And I think this one does a fun job of blending. And there too, you might go, okay, you can still see that it's dotted or not, but as it dries, it'll blend better. So, so that's good. Yeah, Dwayne's such a sweetheart. He went back to see if he could find it. Okay, so I think next what I'll be doing then is assembling. And so I'm going to take this, And on this one, I'm going to take my lily pads. And so what I did before was put these on here, but what I'm going to do is just peel it off my sample card so you can see what I did, because I really like how that worked. And I can even put a little bit more adhesive on here. So what I did is I cut out, hi Kelly, I'm having a rough day in case you're just joining in. So I cut out 1 mint macaron and 2 old olive of these, and then I just took glue dots behind here and taped them, and then I put a couple dimensionals so that even these kind of got a little lift, because they'll be on there and then they'll have dimensionals underneath. So that I'm going to put on my card about like so. Actually, I'm going to put it down a little bit. And then my other one, I'm going to take and peel off my other card, and then I'll know where it was because it was glue dotted on there. And so that I'm just going to take, a glue dot and do that. And then you can see where that goes. And that's going to go kind of up like so. And then I'm going to add a couple dimensionals behind my heron. Yes, Julie, you're friends with Kelly. You can tell her. She'll believe you. Okay, so we have all that going on. And then for the sentiment, I'm just going to run with about 3 dimensionals underneath that sentiment. And I'm going to place that on there like so. So I kind of liked the nice soft look of the mint macaron for these and for this. There's so many blends, colors, and greens. I could have went with old olive or shaded spruce, mossy meadow. Some were too bright, some were too dark, and I feel like Goldilocks, and this one was just right. So then I went with the cardstock color of the mint macaron. Now this is the interesting thing, that if you have a keypad and you're following along, this is the background that my boys chose. So they thought the card would look nice mounted on the mint macaron. And if I was home alone and didn't have them to ask, I maybe would have done the white background and put it on with the white, which I didn't even get the right size of that either. I thought I brought that out, but I didn't. I like the crispness of the blue and the white like that, but I think as guys, they like the nice color of that. So I'm just going to tape that down with my snail. Okay, thank you, Julie. I think I needed to hear this. So you will still see, luckily with all the mistakes, you will still see how the card should look. I mean, the card looks like the sample should. And the other good thing is that I've already taken a picture of this in my stamp room that I will post on Facebook next. So that'll help too. Oh, Tori, thanks for your input on that. So yeah, I love getting input from my boys because they do really a good job with that too. And I know that they want me to know what's going on. So, okay, so hopefully you guys can see me. Oops, I get my hand out of the way. So thanks for joining in. Like I said, I was extra nervous today, just knowing that I was going to be coming to you live. Usually I have the camera facing so I can see my face to know if I'm even in the camera or not, and to normally have the laundry put away behind me, things like that. And so today was just a different day, but you don't know until you get started what you can do, what you shouldn't do. And I really needed to practice doing this because I think I was able to see on my iPad the angle, and I really did think that the angle was good. You could see it more clearly. The technology was a lot better quality, put it that way. And then for you guys to be able to follow along and not have everything look backwards, including the sentiments, that was really cool from what I could see on the iPad too. So no, it's kind of a gloomy day if you're in this area and watching. I think based on my presentation today, doing takeout tonight, like I'd mentioned earlier in the video, Chinese, I think that's what I should do, because I think I really need something like that to just go, I don't need to cook tonight. So like I said, check out YouTube if you want to go back to my videos of the 10 cards that I did in April for Stamp Camp. And like I said, I'm gonna upload 9 more hopefully today from the second half of April that I did for other different events and such too, and then I can start on these as well. So I'm going to sign off, but then go upload today's card with all of the supplies used to make the card. And thanks again for joining in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon.